Can you hear me now? I hope you can. So, welcome. I'm Dr. Khaled Sadek, and you've tuned into another episode of my fantastic live chat show discussing cysts and lipomas. So, if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're not, you know how it's set out. I specialize in the removal of cysts and lipomas. And I've dedicated my YouTube channel to the various treatment options available to people who suffer from such afflictions. So if you're watching and you think you need something removed that you've seen online, then don't hesitate to contact me at lipomacyst.com, your one-stop shop for cysts and lipoma treatment. Welcome! So if you don't know already, we've released our Sunday treat. So that's on the demand videos, and today we'll be going through that video, dissecting it, having an educational talk through, as well as looking some of our previous pilar cysts, and at the end we'll be taking questions from the audience. Welcome. Wonderful to see so many people have joined. Remember, we are going to make that transition to Dr. Khaled Sadek Uncut, the other YouTube channel. I'm just waiting for everybody to get on there, subscribe, and eventually we're going to make that move in the coming weeks. So let's see where we are. Let's crack on with the video because we had an issue with the audio to begin with. But let's look at the video and then we can talk about where we want to go next. So, if you haven't seen this video already, it's on YouTube. It's going live, and it's an absolute stonker. Now, it's not uncommon for people to have cysts that big. In fact, they can get bigger, and more frequently, I reckon they probably get multiple cysts as well. So if you've got multiple cysts, don't panic. You're not alone. They are very, very common. Typically run in families and affects both men and women. So what we're going to do here is just clean it. You can see that the hair has gone over where the skin has stretched that hair follicle out. Yeah, it's almost like a plum shaped. So it's Louise T from the United Kingdom describing it as a bit of a plum shape. Let me put myself up here in the corner and let's go through this together. So the first thing we do, as you know, we put in the local anaesthetic. A lot of patients ask me, what are the risks involved with this surgery? Well, the risks for removing a cyst or a lipoma are the same, whether it's a heart surgery or a hip replacement. And that's pain. When anesthetic goes in, it can sting a little bit. And obviously when the anaesthetic wears off after about 2-3 hours, you get a bit of soreness, but you know, a bit of paracetamol or ibuprofen will settle that. That's not a problem at all. A plumpoma. Some wordplay going on there in the chat box. So yeah, pain, bleeding, bruising, swelling. You can get a bit of swelling as well. Let's put the chat box up here so people can see. You can get some swelling, you know, typically up to a week. There'll be some bruising, small scar. Now, I really do specialize in what I describe as microsurgery, using very, very small scars, incisions, so that we have even smaller scars in the long term. Let's have a look. Let's scroll up to the very top of this chat bot and say some hellos because you were all here before me. Sid G, welcome. Misha Williams, welcome. Caroline Steed, how are you doing? Welcome. Stephanie Cherry, hi, doctor from Mississippi, United States. Missed the last few shows. So excited about being here tonight. Awesome. Great to have you, Stephanie. Katalin Toth from Hungary, welcome. Welcome. The Rocker, how are you doing? Janet Bailey, how are you doing, Janet? Caroline TomTom, welcome. Look, we're just going to clean the skin and get it ready. Judy, how are you doing, Judy, from Tennessee? Welcome. Smoky Mountains, Tennessee. Stephanie Cherry wishing everybody a Merry Christmas. Vaccines are rolling out for COVID across the globe. Don't forget to get your vaccine. Eric from Minnesota, welcome. Suki, how are you doing? Where are you from, Suki? Let me know. Bridget is in the house, welcome. Denise from Edmonton, Washington, one of our regular viewers. Sue Lalali, hello everyone, United Kingdom. Greetings to all watching Dr. K. 3 hearts. Thank you so much, Sue. This is a wonderful place for everybody to meet and chat. Probably the only place in the world where pupaholics can congregate in a friendly environment, watch videos together. Gail Sharp, Susan Oswald from Carolina, welcome. Sherry S, how are you doing? Jane Patterson, hello. Regina Scalford, welcome. And there we go. We're just making enough space there. Look, probably no more than 10, 12 millimeter incision. And it's a good, 3-4 centimeter cyst. So we can see the cyst. We've cleared the facial planes, and we're going in, made that incision. And the next thing you're going to do is drain it. While that's cooking, let me say some shout outs. Sandra Goody from Enfield, welcome. Rena, how you doing? Debbie, Peter, Elizabeth Thompson, welcome. Pauline, Marianne, Lara, Joyce, Elizabeth, Angela Riley, Joyce Anderson, welcome. Natalia Tasker, Helen Gregory, Regina Scalfold, Peter Shepherd, Sandra Goody, Louise Cook, the Chikilala, how are you doing, Chikilala? Debbie Carlton, Mrs. Jackson, how are you doing? Kai Thomas, oof, that's tough. Pauline, how are you doing? Scroll to the bottom. Marsha Thompson from Kansas, how are you doing? Oh, bit of slow-mo. Everyone from Chicago, Illinois, that's Duchess Lynette. Happy birthday. Whose birthday is it? Someone's got popcorn. Misha's got popcorn. Minnesota. Small town of 600 people. That's where Suki's from. It's coming out like a fondue. You know, we'll get your names on the live there. Plumpoma. Remember to hit like if you're new to the channel. Let me know. Hit the subscribe button. Let me know where you are in the world. Nice and juicy in the slow-mo, Caroline Walker. So Peter Shepherd is telling me that the Buffalo Bills beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Congratulations. Well done. Ruth, did the smaller cyst come out too? Well, this is interesting because when I first examined it, I thought there were 2 cysts in there. It felt like there was this big cyst, which we could see, but what you couldn't see on camera, what I could feel with my fingers, was another cyst just next to it, much smaller. And so I thought there were 2 cysts, which isn't uncommon. I thought there were 2 cysts growing very, very close to each other, and that I would probably have to pluck out 2. But when it came out, it wasn't 2 at all. It was actually one rather large pilar cyst with a little nodule attached to it. And you can see that on camera when it comes out. When I sort of examine it in my hands, you can see that it's got this tiny little nodule, which is not unusual. They can a little bit nodular when they come out. A little bit of a tug to get it out. Not very compliant. A little bit of a squeeze as well. Ooh, there it is. It's coming out. So there it is. So let's have a look when we look at the camera. So if we have a look just there at the top end, you see that little nodule? That's what we're feeling. That's what I thought was the second cyst. But in fact, it's like a little nodule attached to it. So there we go. That was today's video with commentary. If you want to watch this commented on, scrolled on with people talking, then it's available on YouTube on my channel. We'll have a little intermission, and then we're going to look at another pilar cyst and compare and contrast how that pilar cyst compared to this one. So let's stay tuned. Welcome, I'm Dr. Khaled Sadek, and you're watching my fantastic world of cysts and lipoma removal. I'm Dr. Khaled Sadek. Welcome to Medical Mysteries. Every Friday at 9:30 Greenwich Mean Time. Welcome back, everybody. So, hope you're all refreshed. Hope you grabbed a little drink in the intermission, because we're going to move on to the next video. And for those who have, that's not the next one. That was last week's video. You haven't seen that. That's on there now. It's got over 100,000 views in its first week. An absolute stonker of a viral video. I didn't realize it's going to be so popular. If you haven't seen the 100,000 views for that one, go check it out. It is on the internet now. But the next one is this video. This is the pilar cyst that I've been wanting to comment on for some time. Haven't done it recently, but I thought it'd be a great opportunity for us to go through it together. Let me know your thoughts. Put your questions in the chat box next to me. I'm writing comments, I'm reading, I'm answering, I'm on it. The audio's working, the camera's working, the lights are on. What could possibly go wrong this evening? So, a lot of questions. Why don't we shave the skin? Why don't we shave the hair off the skin? Why don't we trim the skin? Why don't we irrigate it with hydrogen peroxide? Why don't we check? All these common questions that you guys like to ask. Well, we could address it in today's episode as well. So, obviously, shaving the skin would make the surgical field a little bit clearer. However, if you do that, you will increase the risk of developing a skin infection. So that's not something we like. And actually, so far, touch wood, our infection rates are super, super low, almost negligible. We're talking in the thousands, 1 in 3,000 maybe. So if we shave the skin, it's only going to increase the risk of infection. So this is sufficient. Also, it's not very nice going home with a bald patch. People, one of the stumbling blocks, one of the things that stop people from having these surgeries is because there are people who shave the hair, and it's not very nice having a bald patch on the side of your head. Do you know what I mean? For months on end until it grows back. So this way, we reduce the threshold for compliance and attendance, and they get a fantastic result straight off. The next question people love to ask is, why don't you trim the skin? Trim the skin, doc. Do elliptical excision, doc. Well, look, skin is an organ of the body, and like most organs of the body, it doesn't regrow. It doesn't grow back. And people who have one cyst are probably going to have a couple more in their lifetime. Now, if you go around chopping off skin, you're going to eventually run out of scalp, unfortunately. So, body's very good at reabsorbing the excess and going back to normal, and it's not something we do. And so far, the results have been fantastic. So, really don't advocate elliptical excisions on the scalp. Maybe on the body, but not on the scalp. It's just too tight a skin area to be chopping away. Let's have a look. Gibby's wife. I've seen the FedEx and the UPS flying out with all the vaccines. That's wonderful. Wonderful news to hear. Angela saying, hi from Chico in California. It's raining here, finally, after a few weeks without it. You know what? It's always raining here in London. Sid G question. An Italian doctor / researcher has discovered that microplastics can cross the placenta. How do you prevent this? Ooh. Well, I think we're not going to be able to prevent it on an individual level, but it's certainly a question for government, manufacturers, and the conscious shopper to avoid buying these microplastics. They may cross the placenta. They're probably in our food chain. They're pretty inert, but obviously we don't want to be eating plastic. So we need to lobby your local member of parliament, your local governor, your local senator, put pressure on supermarkets to not stock it, pressure on manufacturers to not make it. But it's very much a global problem, so it's something that needs to be addressed by central government. Hey, Dr. Sadek, has this been edited? Because it seems to me that the cyst was being extracted and then suddenly at 1 minute 35 it was gone. Did you edit zoom seconds out? Nope, it's all there in its entirety. Next question, Gibby's wife. Did you notice the vials were taken from the freezer, the packed boxes? I wonder if they stay frozen. So the new Pfizer vaccine operates on a messenger RNA. So for those of you familiar with the process, or those of you not familiar, normally a vaccine contains a small sample of the virus, an inactivated small segment of the virus. So the body will kind of detect this foreign body and then develop antibodies against it. So you give it this toxoid, as we call it, and the body, this is the waterfall one, and so the body will then develop an immune system over time. Now, Pfizer, what they've done is they've generated a messenger RNA vaccine. So what they're doing is they're injecting you with a sequence of DNA, a string of amino acids, so A, B, C, D, and that string enters the cells, the nucleus, the protein manufacturing hub of the body, and it reads it, and then it generates the antibody according to the sequence that's written on that manufactured messenger RNA. So you see, it's a slightly different process. A traditional vaccine gives you a foreign object, and then your body detects it and then goes back and builds the antibody, while the Pfizer gives you a string of DNA and automatically just builds the immunity. So that's Now, the only problem is messenger RNA, like DNA, is very, very delicate. If it's not stored at minus 80, it just degrades. So you've got to store it at minus 80, which makes a logistical issue with what in medicine is known as a cold chain. So the vaccine will need to be stored at minus 80 from the manufacturer all the way to the physician who's going to deliver it. And that means the vans need to be at minus 80, the aeroplanes need to be at minus 80. That's the logistical side of the vaccine. The other issue is that in a busy practice, a busy vaccine centre, that fridge is going to be open several hundred times a day, and therefore realistically you're not going to get a minus 80 average in that on those samples. So their shelf life is only 3.5 days. So the shelf life of the vaccine in the fridge in a busy practice is 3.5 days. So not only is there a logistical issue in transportation, but its shelf life is 3.5 days. So there we go. So there's lots of issues there until the alternative manufacturers can generate a vaccine that doesn't rely on the messenger RNA, but is more of the toxoid presentation, which can be stored at normal 2 to 4 degrees. Then we've got that issue to deal with. So let's take some questions. Mimi says, "Merry Christmas, everybody! Merry Christmas." Hello, Brenda from rainy Washington. Sulalali loves watching the videos. Gibby, thanks for explanation. Pleasure. I'm rewatching this and listening to you. Can't concentrate with such a good cyst. Well, sorry, you have to watch it twice, Sid G. Sandra Goody, is there a risk of hair growing inwards? Well, you'd hope not. You'd hope not. Those hairs are already established. But we have had a cyst where we've taken it out and the hair follicle has started to grow hair from inside. But it's unlikely that it's going to kind of grow like that because it's long and it'll just pop out. Are cysts genetic? If you have a family member, will you get them? Well, absolutely, they can be. They can be, by all means. It's gnarly. Gosh, it's, you can see that the content was what, liquefied to begin with, and at the base it's pretty solid. So there we go. Wow, what a video, what a cyst. Look, if you haven't done so already, don't forget to hit the like button. We're going to wrap up for this evening. Hope you've all enjoyed the show. I've been wonderful catching up with everybody, taking some questions. If you haven't done so already, the Uncut channel is where we're going to be migrating all of our live discussions to. And we're also very busy at the moment, so it's difficult to kind of maintain the midweek live chat, but that will be coming on stream, especially in the run-up to Christmas. Remember, everybody, stay safe wherever you are. Get the COVID vaccine as soon as you can. Have yourself a Merry Christmas. And I'll be seeing you all. I'll try and get you all on Wednesday, but I'll put an update on Instagram and Facebook. And definitely we'll try and get the medical mystery as well with Dr. Ahmed, Prince Azam, man behind the cam, and then the Sunday live chat next week. So, with no further ado, everybody, thank you so much for watching. It's goodbye from me, and we'll speak soon. Take care. Bye-bye.